Korver and Antoine Young. They will face the number 4 seeded Northern Iowa Panthers tomorrow afternoon. We're going to start off with a statement from Coach McDermott. First of all, welcome back to St. Louis, and then we'll go to questions for everyone on the dais. Greg?
Well, thank you. It's great to be back. We're excited to play Northern Iowa. It's different for me, having just played them the previous week. It's the first time I've done it as a coach, where you play that close together. So your preparation is really different, and I think you're able probably to spend more of your time in practice working on your own stuff because you just have prepared for them. There's not 6 or 7 more tapes you can watch of their last 4 or 5 conference games because you've already been down that road. So I think our guys have a good understanding of what we need to do to be successful against Northern Iowa. Having said that, Northern Iowa is not a team that beats themselves. You have to beat them. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes on the offensive end. They're very sound in their defensive approach. And we have to try to keep their point guard in check. We did not do a very good job of that in Cedar Falls, and we lost. We did a better job of it in Omaha, and we won. So I think that's really going to be a critical point to the outcome of the game.
Questions for all 3 participants start right here.
Coach, talk a little, you touched on it with Kajo, maybe you only having a 4-point Saturday. What kind of response do you expect a senior like him to maybe have coming off of equal to the season low in points?
Well, he's won 6 games in a row here, so he's not lacking for confidence in this building. And, Kajo's a tremendous competitor and a great leader and an outstanding point guard. So I know that he'll be ready to play. I know that he'll have his team ready to play, and we're going to get there. We're going to get his best shot. I don't think there's any doubt. And I don't think you can guard Kajo with one player. It's 5 players doing their job each and every possession to try to keep him in check. Because if you don't, now you really have to commit a lot of help to him, and that's when he makes you pay with his ability to spread it across that floor to the many good shooters that they have in their team. So we have tremendous respect for him and the way he plays the game, and we know that he'll be ready tomorrow afternoon.
Hey, Coach, talk a little bit about the quick turnaround. You just played Northern Iowa on Saturday. What kind of, from a strategy standpoint, what kind of changes are you expecting? A lot of changes, and so forth, and talk a little about maybe overthinking things a little bit.
We've really tried to guard as a coaching staff against overthinking and maybe outguessing yourself. I've known Coach Jacobson for the better over 20 years, so there's probably not much that he's going to do that I'm not aware of, and probably not much that I can come up with that he and I haven't talked about at some point during our time together. So it's going to be a matter of the team's going out, and the team that executes the best and makes the fewest mistakes is probably going to win. I don't anticipate a whole lot of changes on either side.
Right here, Brian.
Greg, you have coached in this tournament when this conference, you knew you could get multiple bids. You've coached in this tournament when you weren't really sure how many bids you were going to get. Can you describe what it's like, the nature of the mad scramble? Because at this point it seems like there's just a finite amount of bids and they come out of the conference.
Going back to the 2 at-large teams I had my last 2 years at Northern Iowa, I mean, you come to St. Louis and you're fighting for your life, and there's a sense of urgency to that, and a sense of we have to be perfect in practice today because we need to take this on the game floor tomorrow, and we're trying to extend our season and win the ultimate prize, and that's a trip to the NCAA tournament. It's one of the neatest experiences professionally that I've ever had, and I really want my guys to be able to experience that. We don't have anybody on our team that's played in an NCAA tournament, and I'd like to get back there myself. So, I'm not sure that our league is as far away as some people think. We had 3 years in a row where the conference champion also was a tournament champion. If that doesn't happen, we're a 2-bid league the last 3 years, and we're not talking about a lot of the things we've talked about. It's just there's been exceptional teams the last 3 years that kind of ran away from the league in a couple of the years, and then dominated the tournament as well. I see it this year as there's been a lot of close games between the top two teams in our league and everybody else. Even if you look at some of the teams that are playing tonight, have been in very competitive games against some of the upper teams in the league. So I think anything can happen this year, and I think that's what makes it exciting. I think there's a lot of teams here that feel like they could be the last one standing on Sunday.
We're halfway through this session. Got a question in the back.
Coach, what's it like facing Coach Jake from a personal standpoint now that you're back in the Valley and now you guys are both chasing the same thing here this week?
It's, I don't enjoy it, and I'm pretty sure Ben doesn't enjoy it leading up to it because I want to see him do well because he's one of my best friends. And, if I had it my way, we'd finish first and he'd finish second. If he had it his way, he'd finish first and we'd finish second. But, much like growing up with four brothers, when I competed against my brother, there's nobody I wanted to be more than I wanted to be my brothers. And the same thing goes for Coach Jake and I. When the ball goes up, we're both very competitive people. We both expect that our team's going to do what they're capable of doing and come out on top. But when the game's over, nothing will ever happen on an athletic court that'll damage our friendship in any way. Our families are very close, and we always will be.
Hey, Kaleb, this is your fourth go-around as a player here in St. Louis. Talk a little bit about your last trip here and the sense of urgency you have to succeed here, and also maybe some of your experiences you can share with some of your teammates who haven't been here.
Yeah, I've grown up watching this tournament. I've watched Kyle win a couple of these, Clay won one. I've been around it a lot, and we kind of had some disappointments in the last couple of years where we've finished. We haven't even made it to the championships yet, so this is definitely a big year for me. I'd like to go to the NCAA tournament. I'd like to win this tournament. As far as experiences I can share with my teammates, we've had some close games here we've won, had some close games here that we've lost. And then again this season, we've kind of been together and had a lot of close games that have gone both ways. So I think for the most part, just this season has been a big test for us, and it's going to prepare us well for this tournament.
Straight back.
Coach, now that UNI doesn't have Lucas O'Rear, do you think they're as dangerous as they were before, and how does that change your preparation for this thing?
I think they're still very dangerous. They're just different. Lucas was, as many things as I thought he did well, he was one of the best doggone screeners that I've ever seen. Understood screening angles, and he would rattle you with his screens, and you're looking out of the corner of your eye to see where he's coming from. And he was such a good passer and such a good feel, he was almost a point center at times when they'd give him the basketball in the post and guys start cutting off him and he'd find shooters. And so obviously when you have a guy that's been in the program and has meant as much to that program as Lucas has, it's going to impact you. But Coach Jake's done a good job of changing what they're doing offensively. Oftentimes there's 5 shooters on the floor, so you just have to defend something a little bit different. They're going to stretch you out with their ability to shoot it. And when you do that, then they're going to try to take you off the dribble and get to the hole and get to the free throw line where they're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. So it's had an impact, but they still are who they are. They compete, they take care of the basketball, and they're very sound defensively.
Anything else for the Blue Jays of Creighton University? Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. And best of luck tomorrow.